For those who don't know me, I'm Will, and I'll be your MC for tonight. Thank you. Brittany and Bob, they cornered me in a parking lot to ask me to be the MC for the wedding, so I didn't really have much of a choice to accept the position. It was a choice I made for my own safety. But this week, I was pretty nervous about the whole thing and being an MC, so I turned to my girlfriend, Emily, who was an MC recently for my sister's wedding this summer, and looking for some advice. Yeah, give Emily a round of applause. Anyways, she said, you know what, just relax, don't go up there and try and be too funny or too witty or sound too intelligent, just be yourself. So, Emily, thank you for the good advice you gave me. So, clearly Brittany and Bob, they didn't pick me for my sense of humor, quick wit, or intelligence, so I thought there had to be another reason why they asked me. And after some hard thought, anyone who was at Charles and Lindsay's wedding, they know quite well it was to keep me out of the table wine, so I'll promise you, everybody, tonight, I'll stay away from the table wine until at least I'm done requiring to form a complete sentence. So I'll give one quick story about Brittany before she comes in. She can't get too mad. She probably can't hear it, but a few years ago, the Caldwells, we went to Ireland together, and Brittany and I were roommates and busmates, and those 10 days, I'm not going to lie to you. Oh, there we go. Those, she might hear it now. Those 10 days that I spent with Brittany, I'm not going to lie, it felt like an eternity. And so I thought after the trip was over, I said, who is going to be the poor guy who commits to spend an actual lifetime with Brittany? So after a few years, Brittany met Bob and everything was great. And it wasn't until we went to the Buffalo Bills game. Oh, back down low. Anyways, we were at the Buffalo Bills game in December, and I watched Bob take his shirt off and watch the entire game in the snow with no shirt on, and I thought, this is the man who's strong enough to spend a lifetime with Brittany. And now, before supper, I'd like to invite up my wonderful grandmother, Audrey Caldwell, to the microphone to say a toast before dinner's served.
It is an honor and a privilege to give a toast to Brittany and Bob. Today is a special celebration. It doesn't seem that long ago that Brittany had some free time. She offered to help organize some of my photos. Can't hear? Yeah, there, okay. Right here, okay. We had a lovely day together, reminiscing about special times and people. We shared some laughs and tears. She said she would be back. Well, the pictures are still waiting. As it turns out, Brittany's free time has been taken up by a special neighbor, Bob, who just happened to walk down the hill. A few months later, Brittany came down with COVID. Bob said he would stay with her, in the spare room, of course, until she got over it. Well, they have been inseparable ever since. I knew they would be a perfect couple. Last Thanksgiving, Bob proposed to Brittany at Wolf Lake Hunt Camp, a spot that is very dear to the Caldwell family. May you continue to show love and affection for one another. Let's raise a glass to Brittany and Bob. To Brittany and Bob.
The occasion, we're just going to say, great, for all this food we're about to receive, make us truly thankful. For Christ's sake, amen.
Amen. Hello again, everybody. Looks like we have, we lost a few groomsmen, I guess, but we're going to go ahead and start the show here. So I'd like to invite up the sisters of the groom to open us up here with the speeches. So I'd like to call up Melissa and Julia.
Hi, everyone. We really hope everyone is having a great time celebrating the happy couple tonight. Woo! I'm Julia, and this is Melissa, and we are Robert's sisters, or as some of you may know us, Bob's sisters. And please note that we will be referring to him by his name, Robert, for the remainder of the speech.
We will start by saying that we are truly a couple of the luckiest siblings out there to have Robert as a brother. Robert is kind and generous, and as most of you know, he would drop everything to help out his friends or family. Oh God, he's crying and that's not good for me. Robert is also one of the hardest working people we know, and that is quite evident by all of the successes he has had in his life, including building his first home, to his establishing his career as an estimator, and then somehow stumbling upon Brittany as a partner. When we were sitting down to write this speech, we were trying to determine the exact time frame that we started to become closer with Robert. After some deliberation, we came to the conclusion that it wasn't until Julia and myself started enjoying football that Robert really would even give us the time of day. We think Robert developed a newfound respect for us that he never had. It's amazing how Sunday afternoons screaming at the TV can really bring a family together.
And speaking of football, the first night Brittany came to meet our whole family was during a Buckley Super Bowl gathering. It was a somewhat bold move to introduce Brittany at such an important family event. But that's when it was clear to us that Robert was likely in it for the long haul, and here we are today. Robert and Brittany's personalities really complement each other, and they are a perfect match for numerous reasons that we would like to explain. Reason number one, Brittany and Robert are well suited for each other because they both share a passion for socializing and have a pronounced case of FOMO, or fear of missing out. They both have a shared commitment to never, ever miss any social event. Reason number two, Robert treats Brittany somewhat differently than other people, and the best way that I can describe this is that he treats her with a unique level of care and consideration. This is evident in the way he treats Brittany during road trips. In our past experience on road trips with Robert, he is very rigid about not making any stops, not even for bathroom breaks. But somehow, when traveling on road trips with Brittany, Robert is happy and willing to make multiple stops at any Target or any Dunkin' Donuts that Brittany would like.
Reason number three. For some bizarre reason, both Brittany and Robert enjoy time with their family on a regular basis. They are both very family-oriented individuals and value any time spent with their families. Luckily, they have each other to get through our weekly Sunday evening dinners filled with loud and controversial debates. But in all seriousness, we couldn't be happier that you two have found each other. Brittany, you are an incredibly kind and caring person, and we are so excited for you to join our family and to get you as a sister. We can't wait to see what the future holds for you and Robert. And we love you both so much and wish you a lifetime of happiness. So congratulations and cheers to the newlyweds.
All right. Great job, ladies. I think our next guest is going to have a hard time following that up, so I'd like to call Charles Caldwell to the stand.
I think I should have went for the sisters. That's got a tough act to follow. First off, I'd like to say, Brittany, you look beautiful today, and all the bridesmaids, you all look beautiful, especially my wife, Lindsay. I'm going to keep this very short and sweet. I think the only reason I did get to talk today was because the sisters had a beautiful speech to have. So I want to make a toast to the lovely couple. Bob, we're very happy to have you in the family. And here's to a good night.
I probably could have just stayed up here while Charles gave that speech. I spent more time walking than Charles did talking, but I'd like to call up next the two maids of honor. I'd like to call up Jenna Armstrong and Jessica Nash.
How we doing for sound? Good. So I'm Jess, co-maid of honor and one of Britt's besties. I met Brett through actually our brothers' friendships, and we were in the same high school class together, and the rest is pretty much history. I'm sure our brothers would like to take credit for our friendship, which fair, because we'd often walk out to the parking lot after school to find out that our brothers had left, and we were running for the bus or getting one of their friends home to drive us the rest of the way home. So they definitely gave us lots of time to bond.
I'm Jenna. I'm the other co-maid of honor and also the bride's cousin. So Britt is 6 weeks older than me, so I've known her since the day I was born. Therefore, unfortunately, I don't quite remember how our first encounter went. Although I've known her all my life, our friendship really took off in high school, and we loved referring to each other as each other's twin, oftentimes dressing in matching outfits, cute jeans, or jeans and a cute top, or dressing, we even dressed as the twin emoji one year for Halloween. And we also had lots of fun trying to convince people at the bar that we were twins. And sometimes we were successful until they asked when our birthday was, and we each said our own.
In preparation for this speech, Britt told us to keep it under 5 minutes, and Bob said to tell some stories and see what happens. So we did not time this.
Britt is a friend you can always count on no matter what you need. Whether it's a fun girls' night, a chill movie night, advice, she's always there to listen. She's always good to reach out and keep updated on everyone's lives and check up on us whenever needed. And she always makes sure to let us know that she's always there for us if we ever need anything, especially if what you need is a good heart-to-heart. I'm sure quite a few of us here have experienced one of Britt's heart-to-hearts, most commonly when the drinks are flowing.
She's the go-to planner within our friend group when it comes to organizing, coordinating girls' nights, girls' trips, craft nights, accommodations, and ride homes, and so on. Although sometimes Britt lets others do the planning, and it takes an interesting turn, such as the time I chose to take charge of giving us a ride home from a stag, and we ended up in the back of a police cruiser. No arrests were made.
She doesn't just love planning girls' nights, she also loves to host. Her first major hosting gig was for her sweet 16th birthday party, and the guest of honor, Malibu Rum. Somehow, after that, she still managed to convince Paul and Debbie to allow her to continue hosting pre-drinks for Gavin's, Crazy Horse, concerts, and even a few more birthdays.
Although most of her plans and ideas were successful, such as our girls' trip to Nashville a few years back, sometimes things always don't work out as she intended. One snow day, many years ago, Britt was told to go straight to the mechanics to get her snow tires put on, and then straight home. Well, Britt, in typical fashion, saw this as a great opportunity to make a girls' day out of it. But things didn't go as anticipated, as she did not realize the snowplow had not yet made it to Jenna's driveway. So not so soon after that did I receive a phone call saying that they would not be picking me up to go shopping, as Britt had slid into a tree in Jenna's driveway.
I'm not saying this was the cause, but that tree died not long after.
I think it's safe to say Britt can have her rebellious moments and likes to consider herself a bit of a rebel. But in the past, her acts of rebellion have not always worked out. One day in high school, we skipped class to go shopping, the Scottish and Irish store right before our trip. Britt made the phone call forgetting to say her grade and immediately was called back by the school, who got her voicemail, a little bit different than Debbie's voicemail. And didn't we find ourselves sitting in detention?
And while we were on that trip to Scotland and Ireland, when room checks were underway, someone came to warn us, and Britt, being in a different room than Jess and I, decided to hide behind our curtains because she wasn't ready to go to bed. She was so confident she'd get away with it until she heard the teacher's voice at the doorway asking where she was, leading her to immediately pop out from behind the curtain with a defeated, "I'm right here."
Most people know Britt, know that she can be a little bit clumsy, known a little bit more by some than others. Maybe you've witnessed a fall, a dropped laptop, or maybe you've been at the end of a piggyback ride during rugby practice that ended you over top of one another and on the floor. But no matter what the fall, the topple, a cheery, "Oh shoot," could always be heard following it, and everybody was picked up and everything was okay.
Britt, we are so excited for you and so grateful to be able to stand beside you on your special day, as you marry your best friend. Bob, although we don't know you as well as others here, Jess and I have learned a few things over the years.
Bob is a big sports guy, specifically a Bills man. I'm sure some of you have noticed the Bills memorabilia around here today, which is great because although Britt has given quite a few sports a good shot, she hasn't been the biggest follower or watcher. And now I can safely say she's one of the biggest football fans I know. And from this, we know Bob understands the importance of teamwork.
When Britt first moved in with Bob, I remember her mentioning to me on how early he likes to get up to work out or go on runs. From this, I determined that Bob is pretty athletic. Although I did hear about an ankle injury over the winter, so perhaps some of Britt's clumsiness is rubbing off on Bob.
One day, Britt told me she does Frank's hot sauce now, and she's getting into spicy food. If only Bob had come around a little bit sooner, then maybe some of our split nachos would have had the kick they all deserved. Bob has good taste.
Bob and Britt hosted a Halloween party a few years back, and I wore a really glittery costume. Safe to say the glitter was all over the garage for weeks to come, and I've been told moving forward to avoid glitter. From this, I learned Bob is really neat and tidy.
While walking from a pre-drink to the Carp fair a few years ago, I discovered Bob, like myself, walks with purpose. As we continued walking on pace, suddenly looking back to see how far Britt was, we realized Bob has drive.
Bob is always looking out for Britt's health, specifically by trying to encourage Britt to stay on top of her vitamins, by leaving them out for her each morning, or at least most mornings. I've heard there have been times where he's gone to leave them out for her, only to find the previous days untouched. Bob is caring.
Although we've spoken about the two of you individually, there's no doubt that you two are the perfect match for one another. And one thing that stands out so prominently for what the two of you have in common is the way you fulfill the lives around you.
You both have an ability to get along well with everybody and are able to make lasting connections just by one conversation.
If you look around the room, there's no shortage for love and support in you two coming together today.
I think we speak for everyone here when we say we all love you both so very much and are so happy for you today.
So if everyone can please raise their glass for Britt and Bob. Cheers!
Thank you very much, ladies. Very, very good. Another difficult speech to follow for the groomsmen. So trying to fill those big shoes, I'm going to call up the best man, Nolan Craig.
The heart's just pumping right now. Okay, so I'm super happy to be here on Bob and Britt's big day. I'm also honored and terrified to be doing this speech. It was awesome when Bob was single. I knew he was never just sitting around, but every time he'd call to see what he was doing, he would say nothing and agree to whatever it was you wanted to do. Be it drink beer, move something, or third wheel on a dinner date. Then Britt showed up, and here we are today. Don't get me wrong, Brittany is lovely and fun to hang out with, but when you call Bob, he is busy. Life isn't always butterflies and rainbows. Shit does happen. And it's nice knowing you got a buddy like Bob to turn to in times of need. He was there and I wrecked my truck and was a good voice of reason, which is why the Chevy is here today and not in the bush. When I couldn't make the plane back from Mexico, it was a relief that Bob and the lads were there to take care of my family on the way home. Bob also helped when I redid my pool and helped with the worst of the jobs for hours on end in the hot sun, and all this with a smile on his face. You can't have a bad time with Bob. I played ball with Bob many years, from Carp to Fitzroy and everywhere in between. So I've seen Bob strike out a few times. I've also seen him hit over the fence. And I would say Bob hit another home run today, marrying Brittany. That is 100% the corniest thing that I have ever said. Where are we? Brittany is a special person. At one point, she was even deemed too special for special ed. So she had to go to a special school up on the hill in Carp. I am also pretty special too, so I had the honor of playing on the same intramural team as Brittany. Yeah, it was Venta, yeah. She was a driving force. She was a force to be reckoned with, leading us to 4 straight championships while excelling in book learning. I am glad Bob and Brittany met. He had to change a bit because he would never got a second date. But other than that, he is his true self with Brittany, and she surprisingly still likes him. No, I'm not done yet. A little bit left. So I've been 5 minutes. Oh, there's a bet. Oh, okay. Well, keep her down. I've been trying to think up some dirt and Bob for a while, and I just keep coming up with blanks. And it's not because Bob's like super smart, because he's an idiot, but he just does a bit more thinking than most of these lads over here. But Bob had a major slip up. After a couple Caesars on a Sunday, he told me he was cursed. And I was like, what? You got a curse? He's like, yeah. I got the Irish curse. I was like, what's the Irish curse? And this is a quote. He goes, I got huge balls and a tiny horn. So I laughed a little bit, and then I noticed he was serious. I was like, oh shit, did Keith give that to you? And then I was worried. I was like, I could have done something to Keith. He can curse me. But Bob said I was fine. It was handed down to him from his father. So with that, let's raise your glasses for the beautiful bride and the groom's big balls.
Thanks, Nolan, and I'm really sorry to hear about your curse, Bob. Next, I'd like to call up the parents of the groom, John and Karen Buckley.
Hello, everyone. I'd like to begin. Take it out. Okay. No. It's okay. I'd like to begin by thanking the Caldwells for hosting a very special day. There was clearly an immense amount of work and time and effort spent to make this beautiful venue ready for this today. I would also like to thank Robert's grandparents and his aunts and uncles and all of his cousins that made the effort to be here today as well. It's an old phrase, but time does really fly. It seems like, no, it's good. It seems like just yesterday Robert was riding his bike around in Marathon Village, playing with his friends and neighbors, and always looking to spend as much time outside as possible. Robert has always had a big interest in sports. We have had many memories of time together watching and cheering Robert on at hockey, baseball, soccer, football, and even a bit of lacrosse. You name the sport, and Robert was all in. In fact, he even managed to sneak in 9 holes of golf today on his wedding day. Other fond memories include our many family road trips with our tent trailer traveling across Ontario, Quebec, the East Coast, and into the United States. And of course, our many trips to Buffalo to cheer on the Bills. Robert has always had a great work ethic. From a very young age, he had part-time jobs, and in some cases, more than one at a time, working 2 jobs and attending Algonquin College. Growing up in West Carleton, Robert had always had a love for the town of Carp. It was through his participation in sports, his great friendships, and being raised in a wonderful community that has shaped Robert's life. It's no coincidence that that's where he met his beautiful bride, Brittany. It seems only fitting that he would build his first home in Meadow Ridge, the same street he met and fell in love with Brittany. Building his own home is a true testament of Robert's determination, perseverance, and character. Robert, you have always given us so many reasons to make us proud of you. Your loving, determined, and caring nature reflects how you care so deeply for your family and your friends. Your mother and I are very proud of the man that you have become and the best son a parent could ever ask for. We love you, Robert.
Brittany, John and I are delighted to welcome you into our family. Excuse me. And are proud to call you our daughter. Your kindness, consideration, and gratitude are just a few words that come to mind when we think of you, Brittany. We love your great sense of humor, and we look forward to many laughs together down the road. As you may know, Brittany loves to tell a good story. John and I always enjoy listening to her life stories, which include many family memories, school adventures, her involvement in 4-H, friends and volunteering, just to name a few. Brittany loves a good board game or card game. It seems fitting that these cards are on the table today, which I did not know about, by the way. She is also a very sentimental woman, loves everything family, and is genuinely interested in facts and antiques. I was very excited when Brittany and Robert assumed his great-grandmother's dining room table. Britt bought some material and Rob and her recovered the chairs together. Brittany definitely has a knack for decor. Brittany is also crafty, which is one thing we have in common. When we were planning my dad's 90th, she jumped at the chance to make some memorable golf balls and wine glasses. They were a hit. When Brittany met our family, she soon discovered our love for the Bills. Since then, Brittany, you've embraced our family football traditions on Sundays, and we look forward to many more games down the road in Hamburg. Go Bills! Debbie and Paul, I am sure you're proud of the beautiful woman Brittany has become. You raised a wonderful daughter. We look forward to sharing the love of our children with you in the future. Robert and Brittany. When Robert met Brittany, we soon realized that you two were like two peas in a pod. Your love for travel, friends, family are just a few of the things you have in common. We have watched you two grow as a couple, and we love how happy you make one another. We wish you a long and happy life together. May your love continue to grow and thrive each and every day. We love you. We'd like to propose a toast. We wish you a lifetime of love, happiness, and prosperity. Cheers to Robert and Brittany.
Cheers to Robert and Brittany.
Cheers.
All right. Thank you very much, John and Karen. And next, I'd like to call up Debbie Moore Caldwell and Paul Caldwell.
We decided I would go first. It won't be very long. Usually Brittany edits my speeches and has them typed out nicely on a readable font. But this is handwritten, and my writing is bad. Okay, I'm not going to make it through this, so just be ready. Welcome, everybody, to the 4C Wedding Pavilion. This is our second wedding, and I'm sad to say we have to close after tonight. Let's give a big hell yeah for my mother. And once again, she looks great. This is the hard part. We are missing some of Brittany's grandparents, but I know they're looking down on all of us tonight, and they would be very proud. What does it say? They would be very proud, as I am, of Brittany and Bob. Let's give a toast to Scott and Goldie and Mary.
Here's the speech there that Brittany wrote for you.
What?
I was meant to give it to you.
This is highly irregular, Will. Oh, Brittany. You give it to Will to give to me. Well, it says, don't bring up icing the cake, New Year's Eve at the Days Inn on the Rideau Street, Duck River, what's the other one? Or Christmas shopping at Winners. What does this mean? That's going to cut my speech quite a bit shorter. Thanks, Will, for you. If I had known that, I could have saved a lot of writing. Okay. Brittany has always been a strong, young, independent woman. When she gets something in her mind, There's no changing it. Good luck with that, Bob. Brittany watched a lot of TV when she was young. She really liked Disney. She watched Raven, Hannah Montana. Yeah. One of these shows, one of the girls went to a private school. Zoe 101. Zoe 101, yeah. Was it good? Because Brittany decided she wanted to go to a private school. She wore us down. She wore, like, oh, I want to go. I have to go to private school. Like, this is the way it is. So finally, we did break down, sent Brittany to Venta, and it was the best thing we ever did. She became such a strong, independent young woman.
Good at tying ties.
And good at tying ties, for sure. And Nolan was there too. He was like a mentor to her. Okay, where am I here?
She got her way. Oh.
She was also a very determined show person in 4-H. In the cattle ring, in her first year at the Royal Winter Fair, she had a heifer that was a little bit fussy. She battled with her the whole class, but didn't let the heifer get the best of her. Next page. When the judge walked by her, Brittany would give her that big smile. Give us that smile, Brittany. When the judge wasn't looking, you could tell she was in pain. When the class was over, Brittany's hand was white from the halter cutting off her circulation. And this is where the term bullheaded came from. You never know what your daughter's boyfriends are going to be. Are they going to wear their hats sideways? Are they going to have droopy jeans? And a lot of the boys Brittany brought around. There wasn't a lot, Bob, but there was a few. They all had one thing in common. They couldn't carry a conversation with you. Bob, on the other hand, always kept a straight hat, pulled his jeans up, and was willing to play cards and chat. Yeah. Whoa, what is going on? I missed a page. Okay, back. That's 4 right there. COVID came in 2020. Did anybody know? We all made it through COVID. COVID came in 2020. Brittany had just moved into Carp. And our bubble was Debbie, Brittany, Charles, and Lindsay. That was our bubble. I was over at Brittany's house one evening, and there happened to be 3 blue light bottles on her counter. Yeah. Nobody in our family drinks blue light. This was suspicious because we do not drink blue light. Our bubble was compromised. Well, hang on here. It wasn't days after this that Brittany got COVID. But she said, "You don't need to worry about me because Bob is going to quarantine with me." As a famous radio host says, now you know the rest of the story. Robert, I'm proud to welcome you. Robert, I'm proud to welcome you into the family, and you and Brittany make such a great couple. You will have a great future together. And here is the bride and groom. Cheers. Here, hang on a second. I said I was going to do this.
I'm in the hot seat here because we're right by the heater. Couldn't get much hotter here. On this day, I greet everyone wholeheartedly, especially my new son-in-law and his family. As parents, you know we love our kids so much that it seems unreal when we see them grow into these mature and smart human beings. Today, when I look at my daughter, I see a smart young woman. But somehow, I still see that little girl who felt...
It's okay. Nothing wrong with crying. Get it out.
Anyways, I still see that little girl who filled my life with joy and happy memories. I'm proud of you and our new son, Robert. I see the blossom of love and mutual understanding when I look at both of you together. I wish that this blossom stays like this forever and that you can pass your love on to your children. We want to thank all of our family and friends who have helped our family throughout Brittany's life.
Double-sided?
Double-sided? Okay, there we go. We're better.
Very practical.
Throughout Brittany's life and through these wedding preparations. Brittany had a vision for these special days. She has very diligently thought of many things for both your enjoyment and pleasure. We hope you find the atmosphere everything Brittany dreamed of. I know many of us have enjoyed the wine bottles and looking at these photos, the personalized menus that you have. If you haven't noticed, whatever you ordered for dinner is in a different colored font than the other items. Everything is personalized because Brittany is a very personable person. And I feel comfortable saying that Brittany probably hopes in her lifetime that she gets to sit down and play a game of cards with each and every one of you and play with those. We want to share a special thank you to our dear friends, our very dear friend Lisa and her family, Rebecca, Gerald, and Ryan, for all their help realizing and enabling Brittany's vision for today. All the flowers you see are courtesy of Lisa's artistic abilities. So thank you very much.
Oh, Lisa.
To all the professionals for their assistance with today's events, from stylists, photography, videographers, catering, refreshment servers, musicians, and the amazing volunteers who have made today perfect. We've had so much family around this week and friends doing things, making things to display desserts and the bees for you to sign on and helping us build this building and all kinds of different things that we have done. So thank you, thank you, thank you to everyone who's helped. Today we celebrate the very personal vows and service written by Brittany and Robert. We are blessed to have shared our lives with my dear cousin Ann McKenna. Ann has led our family through thick and thin, and we owe our lives to her intelligence, kind heart, and steadfast faith. Today, Anne guided Brittany and Robert through their wedding ceremony. I would like to thank Brittany and Robert for their gift to me of receiving the sacrament of marriage as their official wedding this past Thursday at St. Michael Corkery. It is very special. Brittany and Robert have received all of their sacraments, baptism, First Holy Communion, penance, confirmation, and now marriage at St. Michael Corkery. It was very special for them to share their faith in this sacrament at this church where Brittany's great-great-grandparents, John Delaney and Mary Jane McDonald, and her great-grandparents, Thomas Murphy and Annie Delaney, were married. We are blessed that Brittany's grand-aunts, Rita Burnett and Aunt Helen and Uncle Carmel Malotny, who both also celebrated their weddings at St. Michael's, were there with Brittany and Robert on Thursday. Thank you to Father Matthew for his beautiful service. We'd like to thank the Buckley family for realizing that, yes, you're gaining Brittany as a beautiful daughter, but the whole family comes as a package. And and we've enjoyed spending time with you, and we hope over the rest of our lifetime we have many more occasions that we get to celebrate with the Buckleys. I think the next, other than breakfast tomorrow morning, the next big event is December 17th in Buffalo, so go Bills. So thank you very much to everybody who has traveled from a great distance. Brittany has two wonderful friends sitting down there that made the trip from Alberta. They were here for Katie's wedding a few weeks ago, and they're back here today for Brittany's. And so thank you for coming. We have Brittany's cousin Frederick and Johan for coming from Mexico via Iceland and England, and Patricia that came from England. So thank you very much. We do have a beautiful wedding cake down there that Brittany's going to cut later, but we do have another cake that is around, and I would appreciate it if everybody could raise a toast. Tomorrow, Brittany's cousin Aaron has a birthday, so happy birthday, Aaron. And Frederick turned 40 earlier this week, so happy birthday, Frederick. So, thank you very much to everybody for helping us celebrate this day. It's been beautiful. We hope you enjoy yourself. There is going to be a fabulous party both in here and next door. Excellent band. We have more guests and more people coming, and we couldn't build a bigger building, so this is what we have for dinner, but we're looking forward to more people. We want you to enjoy. There are blankets. If you need anything, don't hesitate to ask us. And, if you don't feel like dancing, these tables are great for euchre or whatever you want to play. You're welcome to do that too. So, at this point, I wish to raise a toast to my daughter and her new husband. Although she's too old to hold my hand, she'll always hold my heart. Watching you grow from my little girl into the beautiful bride standing before me has filled me with such joy. Oh. Everyone you meet is touched by your kindness, generosity, and life for life, and cheeky humor. I am incredibly lucky to have you as a daughter and as a treasured friend too. I feel blessed to welcome Robert into our lives and thank him for the laughter and happiness he brings to my daughter. I couldn't wish for a better man for Brittany than Robert. May the two of you have a long, healthy, and happy life together. To Brittany and Robert.
All right. Good evening, everyone. If you don't know who I am, well, you're probably at the wrong wedding. Never been one for public speaking, but hard to get out of this one. I'd just like to say a few quick words before I spend the next 40 years listening. On behalf of my wife and I, thanks to everyone who's traveled near and far to spend this special day with us. We appreciate each and every one of you. We can't thank you enough for being here. As usual, Brittany and I constantly have continued support from our family and friends. And today was no different, leading up with everyone contributing to making this day possible. Paul and Debbie, thank you for your hospitality this evening and your kindness, and also for giving me your very beautiful daughter. You both raised a beautiful, strong-minded daughter who is willing to do anything for anyone. It's an absolute pleasure to be part of your family. You've accepted me entirely. You treat me as if I was your own, and I have felt such a level of acceptance from all of you in a way that I could have never imagined. I'm on a run here. Mom and Dad, thank you for everything you've done for me throughout the years. I wouldn't be the man I am today without the both of you. I'm extremely fortunate to call you my mom and dad. I couldn't have asked for more supportive parents with everything I've gotten involved in my life. And most importantly, thank you for treating Brittany like she's been part of the family since day one. And how about my sisters, Melissa and Julia? This might be the first time I'm speaking about them that I'm not going to give them a hard time about something. It's hard to believe how far we've come over the years, and I couldn't ask for better sisters. I love you both, which I don't say near enough. Thanks for everything you do for Brittany and I. To my groomsmen, Brendan and Roger, Charles, Ryan, and Ben, don't listen to what everyone is saying. The boys are looking sharp tonight. Thanks for everything you all did leading up to the day to make it perfect for Brittany and I. I chose you gentlemen to be up with me here today because your friendship and endless support means everything to me. I'm grateful for the memories we have had and the memories we'll continue to have over the years. To my best man, Nolan Craig, if ever someone deserves the title best man, you're it. One of the best guys I know, and lucky enough to call you one of my best friends. Truly not just someone to have a beer with, or several beers with, but someone I look up to and look for advice on a constant basis. It's always nice having a handyman on speed dial to get me out of a jam during another project I take on. To all the bridesmaids, you look absolutely stunning today. You've all been great friends to Brittany, and I'm extremely happy that she has friends like all of you when she needs you the most. And last but not least, I'd like to say how beautiful my wife looks tonight. I remember our first date like it was yesterday. Brittany was passed out on the couch after a bottle of wine with the movie Draft Day on in the background. That's when I knew she was the one. In all seriousness, it was shortly after our second date that I was walking back home up the circle thinking how I was going to hold on to her and not mess anything up. The time and effort that Brittany put into this day was incredible, and I was just her little laborer along for the ride. I need a second here. Everything looks perfect just like you do every day. Thank you for making me the happiest man in the world. You're beautiful in more ways than I know. I'm extremely lucky to call you my wife. I think this wedding is just another testament to how beautiful our life is going to be, and I'm excited to see what the future has in store for us. Cheers to the beautiful bride. Thank you.
Okay, everybody's gonna have to bear with me. I have been too busy planning this beautiful day. I forgot about my speech. So I wrote it this morning. I'm typically somebody that has a lot to say, but today has just left me speechless. I would just like to thank everybody for being here today. It has really been a dream come true. As Robert has said, today would not have been possible with all of your love and support. I would personally like to give a big shout out to Lisa Nugent. You have done a fantastic job on the florals. I would also like to give a big shout out to our MC William. Go Will! And I'd also like to give a big shout out to our little helpers today, Callahan, Jack, Anna, and Paige. Today could not have been possible without you guys. We would also like to thank Greyloft Studios for the beautiful photo and videos that are being taken today. Thank you. And I would also like to thank Ulrichs for our beautiful food. I hope you all enjoyed it. And Kayla and Ryda for our beautiful bartending services. I hope you all help yourself to a drink. We have bar service as well as beers and coolers. Help yourself to those coolers. But really, there has been so many friends and family that have taken time out of their own personal lives to help us get ready for today. Honestly, there are too many of you to single you out, and I'm just so appreciative for you guys helping my dream come true today. So thank you so much. Okay, I might cry. To John and Karen. I normally talk so much. From the day I met you and your family, you have made me feel so welcomed. I have loved joining your Sunday dinners and in the fall watching football, even if I don't know that much about it. The family you have created is so wonderful. I feel so blessed to be welcomed into your lives. Most importantly, I'd like to thank you for raising the love of my life. You've raised him to be the most generous heart and caring person. He is truly a true gentleman. I can't see, my tears are getting in the way. And he provides his love and support to everyone in need. I'm so thankful to get to spend all my days with him and your family. To Melissa and Julia, I would like to thank you guys so much for welcoming me into your family. I have never had a sister, but since the day I met you, I feel like I have two more. So thank you so much. Oh, yeah. To Mom and Dad, I can't say thank you enough. You have made today a dream come true. I've been dreaming about this day since I was a little kid, and it is more than I've ever imagined. The love and support you have shown me throughout my life and the love you have shown Bob is truly unmatched. I would not be the woman I am today if it had not been for the both of your caring spirits. I cannot possibly put into words what you both mean to me, so I'm not going to try, but I just really appreciate everything you guys have done for me. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Charles, this is going to be a longer speech than yours. Thank you for being my big brother. I do truly appreciate your tough love over the years. Although we do not express it, I know that I can always count on you for your support. Thank you to you and Lindsay for everything you guys have done today. It is so appreciated. I am also so appreciative of you welcoming Bob into our family. To the groomsmen. Wow, you guys look so cute. Thank you so much for the love you guys give Bob and me. Without hesitation, you boys have been here to lend a helping hand. A big special thank you to Nolan. You were a great host captain in Venta, and you truly are an amazing friend to Bob. But also to everybody you meet, you're always a welcoming hand, and you're such a special person to know. We are so fortunate to have you and all the other groomsmen in our lives. To my girls, Jenna, Jessie, Melissa, Julia, Katie, and Lindsay. You look so beautiful today. We have been talking about this day for so long, with some of you for years and years and years. Katie and I go on a walk every Tuesday, and for the last year, that's all we talked about. She just got married on September 9th, so we've been sharing this journey together, and I'm so appreciative for that. Thank you for making my vision come true and for always supporting me and for helping with all of the wedding events that have led up to today. I'm also so fortunate to have all these caring friends and my two maids of honor, Jenna and Jessie. You both have supported me in such different ways, and it's been so appreciative. I love you both. We share so many great memories. As they both said, I've known Jenna since Jenna was born. And I this isn't part of my speech, but I'll just throw it in there. We were driving in the car one day, my brother and his friend Dan Nash was driving in the car. And I just remembered Dan was chewing so much gum, and he kept throwing the F word out there. And I was leaving this tiny little private school of 100 people and about to go to this big high school. And I see this guy chewing all this gum, swearing all these words, being like, oh yeah, my sister's going to grade 9, like maybe she could be your friend. And then I show up in one of my first classes, this girl named Jessica Nash. I said, are you Dan Nash's sister? And she said, yeah. I said, do you want to be friends? So thanks, Dan. Anyways, I've shared so many wonderful memories with all of you girls, but specifically Jenna and Jess. You guys have always been there to support me, talk me through all my crazy ideas, and I just really appreciate both of you guys. And you did a great speech, so good job. But I was expecting a song. Just joking. To my husband, thank you for being my best friend and the love of my life. I've never imagined I'd be so lucky to be standing here today with someone so amazing. I love your extreme generosity and your contagious laugh and your kindest heart. Thank you for accepting me for all my strengths and all my weaknesses. I love you more than anything. You've always put me first, even when I've told you my crazy wedding ideas. From the moment I met you, I felt like I was right where I needed to be. You are my home. I am a better person just for having a chance to know your heart. I love you, and I'm so excited to be your wife and to spend the rest of our lives together. Let's party!